hate it when it does that. Did it break up for you? Did the ending like not?
No, I heard the whole thing.
Okay. I heard the whole thing. Okay. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue, green globe of ours. Welcome to Real News Live. It is a Tell the Truth Wednesday. I'm your host, Mike Barra, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Joined as I always am on Mondays and Wednesdays. Used to be Fridays, but it's just Mondays and Wednesdays now. By my co-host, the lovely lady with the lustrous hair, Jennifer Fallaw, Doreen, Jen, how are you doing?
2025 just got a whole lot better, and here's why. They just launched
something
called Economic.
Jen's got her porn running on her phone.
All right. Don't even try to cheapen me, dude.
Sorry.
Okay.
How are you on this wonderful Wednesday morning, Jen?
I am fine. I was fine.
Right. It's great. It's great.
I'm trying to find the link to post it.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I just posted the Rumble link over on Telegram, which is where a great many of our followers come from. We already had the YouTube link up, but while we wait everybody to get over here on the Rumble side of the house, let's go through and do our usual stuff and talk about all the cool things you can get. Don't forget, folks, that if you should miss a show, you can always go over to mikebarra.blogspot.com where you can pick up all of the latest Mike Barra news if you want it. It's got recordings of all of our shows, especially even last night's Toxically Masculine Tuesday, where we talked a lot about Nancy Mace on the floor of the U.S. House yesterday. You can also pick up links to my books, my schedule of public appearances and lectures, old lectures that I've done, like the awesome Ancient Aliens and JFK lecture at the New Living Expo from 2018. You got to check that out. If you want to know what happened to JFK, that book right there, watch that video. My Vincent Fusca video is there. I've got videos that I've done of on famous UFO cases, did my own analysis, showed you what they were and what they weren't. Interviews with people in the UFO community like Marina Sarin, who's going to be coming to visit here pretty soon in a few weeks, and links to articles and stuff that I've done over the years to back up my research. MikeBarra.blogspot.com. And what that does is that will send you through to the Rumble site, the Rumble channel. The Rumble channel is Real News Live with Mike and Jen. We have over 6,000 followers now. I'm happy about that. It's got all the videos archived there of shows that we do. It's got all of our lives. And the really cool thing is that when you're in a live stream on Rumble, you can do two things that really help the show. You can hit this red subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, which I will highlight here in a second. Right down there, it says subscribe. You can hit the subscribe button, and for a mere $5 a month, you can support the show financially, which we really appreciate. It helps us pay for our software, our incredibly high production values and stuff. It's really great. So hit the subscribe button. If you don't want to do that, you can also hit the $ here, the Rumble Rant. What that does is it gives us a Rumble Rant of any amount you'd like to contribute. And the advantage of being a subscriber or hitting a Rumble Rant is that your questions go to the top of the pile, top of the slush pile, when Jen is ready to answer questions. You can also, there's a little gift box there. You can gift subscriptions to other users, which is a really sweet, cool thing to do that certain people have done over the months, years, weeks, and so forth. Also, please don't forget to visit our wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus, over at the CBDGurus.com. Hit the wholesale tab, slide down to Mike B Wholesale, type in the discount code ALIEN, all lowercase, no S on the end, just alien, ALIEN, and get this week's specials on all kinds of wonderful CBD-based products for your health. You'll get some dong and some dinar with your purchases if they go over $50. And you get awesome wholesale prices. Let's see what's on sale this week. The gummies, the Delta 8 gummies, the little gummy mini packages, the turkey tail mushroom stuff, all kinds of cool stuff. The super immunity formulas, so you get the oils, the gummies, all kinds of cool stuff on sale right now. Matt and Lucas over at the CBD Gurus are awesome people. Also, please don't forget to visit our other wonderful sponsors, MikeBarraPets.com. The Mushroom Ladies, Diana and Kristen, are going to be on with me at this time tomorrow 1 in the morning, or 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Diana and Kristen are going to come on and tell you about their journey to health through using the mushroom-based supplements. However, they're also designed for your pets, your dogs, your cats, your horses, anybody like that. Hit the shop now button, and you'll pick up the I've got Barkley on Mojos and Mush Puppies. There's the Mojos. There's the Mush Puppies. They're awesome for the dogs. There's Mush Puppies Plus. There's the Super Sauce, special sauce for dogs and cats. There's they've got kibble for dogs and cats, which is much better for them than the regular stuff you pick up in the store. Mush ponies for the horsies and donkeys, like Henry the Donkey, and the Enforced line of human mushroom-based supplements based on the reishi mushroom, Coriolis versicolor mushrooms. Diana and Kristen have personally had incredible healing experiences from using these. That's why I decided to support them and get the stuff out there. We had a long discussion last night with Steve Doran about the C word, about the big C. And, different people have healed themselves in different ways. But Diana and Kristen are going to talk about it tomorrow, have done a fantastic job using these products for themselves. So they got chocolates, they got mushroom-based coffees, they have starter packs, they have the whole thing for all the different animals. If you have an issue with your fur baby, send an email to Diana at MikeBarraPets@gmail.com. MikeBarraPets@gmail.com. Link in the description for all this stuff. She will get back to you and tell you what might be the best set of solutions for your pet. And there are so many great testimonials. Absolutely phenomenal from these folks. We love you, Diana. We love you, Kristen. Also, one last thing. Don't forget to get on over to lifewave.com/MikeBarra. Link in the description. You can get all kinds of really, really cool stuff. These patches use the phototherapy concept. I use the X39, the X49, and the SP6 for healing. I've got 3 friends who basically told me, look, I started using these things, and 6 months later, I felt the best I've felt in 20 years. So I decided to give it a try. I'm on my 3rd month now. I'm in my 3rd month. Amazing stuff from LifeWave. We're going to do another update pretty soon with Michael Jaco, talking about all of the different products that these guys have. The SP6 is one of the things I'm taking for hormonal balance. It's a great, I don't know how great it is, but I'll tell you this. Jen has said, like, my migraines that I used to get occasionally, intermittently, were hormonally based. And guess what? Since I've been on these little hormone balancing patches, I've had 0, absolutely 0. So get on over there. Link in the description, lifewave.com/MikeBarra. And Jen, why don't you tell us what is going on over at JenniferFallah.com.
Well, if you'd like to get a reading with me, if you'd like a healing, go to JenniferFallah.com. If you'd like to reach Susan Gretz and Marcy Howell, you can go there as well. Contact them, purchase from them. Right now, the sale that I have on the healings will end at the end of the week. That means Saturday. Well, I might let it ride through Saturday for all of you that get paid on Friday and want to do something. But right now, it's a reduced price, $89 for any healing, weight loss, the DNA toxin cleanse, full body healing, everything healing. You can pick them up now. You can email me after purchase. I will send you gift cards if you get multiples, or you send me the name, first and last name, picture of the person or pet that I will be doing the healing on in the email. And so pick those up now before they go back to regular price.
Okay, that is what is going on over at JenniferFallah.com today. Okay, now it's time to slide into the news segment. And unlike Jen, I don't mind having the CBD Gurus logo chopping into my head, but I'll be okay. So it's time to get up on the news. And there's something I still want to check that I didn't get around to checking before we started the show, but I will check it while Jen's doing her Gen Tell. Tony has just announced that he's not doing his call at this time. He normally does it at the same time we do. He's not doing one until later in the evening. There will be a call today. I want to remind everybody that Jen said we're in a 48 to 72 hour window on Monday. That takes us through today. Okay. In terms of news that I have or information I have, people that know something have only told me that they're hearing today. Some people are saying today at midnight. Some people are saying today at noon. I don't know. It's just kind of all.
Yeah, you're a
Did I
little
screw that
shit.
up?
I'm not telling you anything before
I'm
the show
sorry.
anymore.
I
Whatever.
just
No,
got
you didn't.
confused. I just got confused.
You're a pain in the ass.
Yes, I
I'm
did get
kicking your ass later.
confused. I got confused, but anyway, Jen's right about that. So the interesting thing is that after we did our show on Monday, everybody said there's a news lockdown. Tony said there was a 36-hour lockdown, which ended about 5 hours ago. Mark skipped his show last night because there was no information. There's no information coming out from my side, except for one person, and I got a bank story for you, which hopefully I don't screw up. This contact, I had heard last week that a particular bank branch in a Midwestern state was training their people on Monday to do dinar exchanges, to exchange the dinar because they wanted to be ready for Monday. I do not know if that happened or not, but I do know that a person that I'm personal friends with, I know him as well as I know Mark Z probably, went to that exact branch. It is one of the major top 4 banks in the country. I'm not going to tell you which one it is. And I have pictures of the branch. The branch is brand new. It is a completely different design than any bank you're used to. It looks like a Starbucks lounge or a Starbucks or an airport lounge or something like that. There's couches, there's coffee, there's snacks, there's cubicles. Okay, this is not a bank. It is a wealth management center that they would have typically set up for private banking transactions. It's the kind of thing you would expect if you were a whale, if you were a high roller. Now, you've been told before by other people, not me, that that's the future of banking, that they are going to start treating you completely differently, that you're not just a customer now, and a customer is somebody that you tolerate and take their money. They're now going to treat you practically like royalty. And that's the way this thing was set up. Now, here is the important thing. There were 5 cubicles and 5 employees who were basically tellers. We all know those tellers are pretty much going to be replaced by AI pretty soon. But the interesting thing is that in each and every one of those cubicles was a De La Rue machine. Now, if you don't know what a De La Rue machine is, it is the machine that they use for counting foreign currency. When questioned by my friend, are they going to be exchanging the dinar and the dong? They were confused. They didn't know what he was talking about. They called corporate. They said, no, we're not doing that. I saw somebody else in my Telegram chat saying, oh, no, I called Chase Bank, for instance, and they said, no, we're not exchanging that. That's true. They're not exchanging it today. They may be exchanging it tomorrow or the next day or the day after or in the next week. But let me tell you this. The machines are real. They are really there. There are 5 of them. These machines are very expensive. This is what I'm going to check when you're doing your Gentel, Jen. I don't know exactly how much they cost or how much they cost to lease, but they are not cheap. They are in thousands and thousands of dollars. You do not have you only need one of these in your bank because how often do you do foreign currency transactions? Hardly ever for a local bank branch. If they've got 5 of them in this branch, that means number 1, this branch is going to serve as a redemption center. Number 2, it means they're expecting massive volumes of foreign exotic currencies because that's what this is for. Canadian money, that's no problem. But if the only reason you have these machines is if people are bringing in Iraqi dinars, Vietnamese dong, Indonesian rupiah, Venezuelan bolivar, Swiss francs, exotic currencies that you do not see hardly ever in the US. That's what these things are for. The fact that they are there and they are sitting there this week, I think means we're really close. They would not, if they were planning on this not happening for another 2 or 3 months, those machines would not be sitting there, because even if you lease them, they're super expensive. And I'm going to go double check those prices while Jen's doing her Gentel. So Jen, that's all I have in terms of news. Sorry, I messed up on the 12 noon thing. I just got confused about what my source told me and what you told me. So no, I am. You're so.
You just can't get
so untrusting.
You can't get away with anything anymore with me. Right. I know you too well. All right. So all right. This is Gentel short for what the hell day is it? 5/21/25.
It's Wednesday.
Okay, so I just basically asked Archangel Michael and Gabriel today, where are we at? What's the plan? What's the target? He said the next target is today at noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern. They're going to try and pull the trigger. If they miss that target, they will try again tomorrow, and that might be so I actually heard 12. But then I asked, is that my time? What time is that? Is that, and then they said noon. So they're going to try and do this thing today. If something happens and that doesn't work out, they're going to try again tomorrow. If that doesn't happen, it will be after Memorial Day. But they want to try and get this trigger pulled and this thing started before June. Now, in the Gentel this week on Monday, everything is lining up on the back screens for public Forex visibility. Then that will pause for a conjunction of other countries' rates and procedures, possibly BRICS. And then after that, all the truthers are coming out and saying, well, there's a pause. Okay. The release will happen late night USA in the next 48 to 72 hours. So I'm getting something about noon. Could have misinterpreted that. It could be midnight. Who's midnight? I don't know. How many hours is Iraq ahead of us?
They are about 8 or 9 hours ahead. I'll check right now.
Okay. Exchanges proceed until Tier 4B is complete. That will trigger the worldwide transition to gold. Rules of economies will change. So back behind the screens, the truthers, the gurus, their information is kind of matching up with what I originally got on Monday so far this week. When I asked today, our next target is today at noon from what I got. And if that doesn't happen, they're going to try and pull it tomorrow. I always got that it happened in the middle of the night, so that's a possibility.
10 hours ahead. It's 8:30 p.m. there right now. So in 4 hours, it'll be midnight in Iraq. That would make it about 2 in the afternoon. I just got some confirmation
that backs up what I just said. I'm not going to tell you what it is, and I'm not going to tell you who it was. So, in the other news, we're still looking for public release of documents. We got the air traffic control incident that was coming in the news. That popped up. Supply chain disruption. We still want to keep an eye on this. Okay. I don't know when that's coming. Sometime it coming in the news. Could be a week out. It could be 2 weeks out. But if they pull this thing, it might mess up. It might cause a lot of chaos. Okay. So you might want to stop at the store if you're out of anything or getting low on anything. Just saying. And that's Gentel for today. And I will post that Gentel short. I'll just do it now so I don't forget because I'm going to have to do readings. But I'll post it on Fallawsophy on Telegram. There we go. If anybody wants to share that. That's what I got. Anybody from the other day who's concerned about me? I am absolutely fine. I'm a healthy girl. I'm not on any medications. I don't have any conditions. I always have been, and I always will be. I just, sometimes it felt more like anxiety. I don't know if I was tuning into somebody. Yeah, I ate.
Right? You ate
but that's
today?
usually not the symptoms I get when I don't eat. I get like shaky hands, and I'll start getting.
Yeah, your blood sugar was just crashing, is what I think happened, because I get it too, and that you feel like you're having an anxiety.
Yeah, and I don't really have
And
anxiety attacks.
so,
The only time I did was when I was
yeah,
going through the whole
yeah.
menopause thing in the middle of the night, and I'm like, I'm sleeping. Why the
Yeah.
hell would I have anxiety? So like it just felt like that. But I'm fine now. After that, I was fine.
TNT Tony is delayed until he hears what Mike
Stop it.
says. I think Tony has his own sources, but so when they align with what we're saying, and I don't think he's stealing from us, I consider that to be a plus. So, all right, I just checked. De La Rue machines are brand new, and these were described to me, I believe, as brand new, $5,000 a piece. So if they bought those, that's $25,000 sitting there in 5 cubicles, not being used. Not being used. That is not a good financial business investment if you are the bank. Therefore, they are quite obviously, I think, getting ready for the influx of business that's going to come. So that's pretty clearly to me what they're there for. And I am 100% that story is real. You hear bank stories, it's third person. This is first person. I talked to the person who went to the bank. He sent me the pictures. It happened. So they are there. Now, if De La Rue machines are there, they're getting ready to exchange currencies. And like I said, not just the average everyday Canadian dollar for the US dollar. The other thing is, of course, you're getting the number 12, right? So it's 12 midnight or 12 noon. 12 midnight or 12 noon where? We don't know, but I think that those are the time when the clock strikes 12, that's when you should
and
be
you know what I
looking
just
around.
remembered?
And
Remember a
checking
long
it
time
out.
ago we got between 11 and 12? 11, 12?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was actually about a
No,
month
it's
ago.
longer than that,
Yeah.
but like, and we never knew what that was.
No, I think it was only about 2 months ago at the most. It was like a month ago. But yes, we did get that. Well, it was maybe 3 months. But yes, you did get that. So yeah. Yeah. So keep an eye. In fact, as long as we're here, I'm just gonna go check my Wise account just in case I've
Yeah,
got
let's
millions
keep
of
an eye on
dollars in
that.
there.
That'd be
you know?
fun.
Yeah, especially since I have a debit card. Nope.
Scott
made me
do it. Twisted my arm, and I'm like, no, it's complicated. I don't want to do that. I'm going to put that off. The whole crypto thing was nightmare. Made me do it one day. Now I'm all excited about it.
And we are not sponsored in any way by Wise, or we don't get any money from them. But I do think it's a useful tool to have, even though the currency's digital. Here's the thing: if you get a debit card, like I got a Wise debit card, if the value changes and the value in there changes, I can just go start spending money off that card. Just boom, I can put a house on it. So we are looking forward to that. Christine Packer says, sympathy and blessings to Ron on the passing of his dog, Lily. We feel your pain. We're just watching Trump give the president of South Africa give him hell. I guess Ron talked about it. Ron hadn't talked about it, but poor Ron. And he's a wonderful dog dad, and
we love you, Ron,
a lot. So our sympathies to you. We love you, Ron. Uncle Ron, one of the best human beings on the planet. All right, Jen, why don't we go ahead and do questions? How long do we have you for questions today? It's 10:30. Can we keep you till 11:15 or so?
That's pushing it. Hang on.
Or do you want to go earlier? Well, we can go at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, half an hour.
Let's
go to 11.
For questions.
That's pushing it.
All right. Remember, questions for Jen need to include your real name and the name of the person or pet that you are asking about. That will really, really help. Let's pop over to the Rumble side of the house and see if we have any Rumble rants. And we do have a couple here. We'll go in and take a look at them. Angela for $5. Angela M says, Jen, can you see what's going on with my grandson's skin? No one seems to have a solution to help him.
What's the name again?
Angela M, and she's asking about her grandson. She did not give the grandson's name.
We really need to go to his liver and his kidneys. It's the way that the body processes toxins. It's coming out through the largest organ in the body, that is the skin. It mimics what the hell is that called? Eczema. But it's not actually that. But test the liver and the kidneys and see the way he's processing things and if there's a problem there.
3 things. I know there are case studies of people who have used the ivermectin paste, the horse paste, and just rubbed it on skin and had it heal up very quickly. Do it daily, once or twice a day. I can also recommend the Lotion 2000 from the CBD Gurus is an excellent product for anything going on with your skin. And the Body Balm from MikeBarrettPets.com, the mushroom folks. Try all those. If you haven't tried all 3 of those, then then you haven't really, just keep trying stuff. That'll work. Shabby says, hi, Mike and Jen. Hope you're feeling better, Jen. That's sweet. Okay, another Rumble rant over here. Carol, $5 Rumble rant. This one's really heavy, Jen. Carol says, my ex, Jeff, my daughter, Carrie Jo's dad, took his own life on Friday. Does he have a message for our daughter? And why did he do this? We are all in complete shock. So Carol wants to know why he took his own life and if he has a message for their daughter, Carrie Jo.
Okay, so he's not ready to show up. Let me see if I can get some answers from Michael. What I'm getting is he was kind of like mentally blacked out when he did it, but still functioning. So I want to say drugs, alcohol, something involved. But there was a lingering mental illness that was not diagnosed or was not properly medicated. We need to give the soul a little time to rest.
Give the soul some time. Yeah. Just to comment on this, Carol, I used to know a psychic who specialized in people who had passed over. And he said every single person he'd ever read that had committed suicide instantly regretted it, instantly realized they hurt everyone else around them more than they helped themselves and completely regretted it. And it took them quite a while. There's still shame up there. Okay. You can still be ashamed of yourself for doing something stupid and hurting those around you. So it does take time. He told me it takes time for the spirit to forgive themselves and
so
come back.
What that looks like, just so that you understand, because a lot of people think that if you commit suicide, you go to hell. Okay, with certain religions, that is only the case if somebody would commit suicide to hurt people on purpose, okay, and cause a massive amount of pain, and the vibrations really. So when I did the exploration of the levels of heaven through interdimensional meditation series, the second level of heaven is usually where they end up. It looks very much like heaven. It is heaven. It is higher vibrational. It looks like a sanctuary. There are souls walking around with their guides and with angels, and they sit down and they talk to each other, and they actually stay there for a while, or as long as they want, to let go of a terribly tragic life, a life where they had addictions, a life where they were mentally ill, and remember who they really are, and like shake it off and work through it until they go on to level 3. And it's not like advanced to level 3. Okay, it's just another dimension where they go and they review their life and everything. They're not ready to do that. So when they're not ready to go and watch their entire life again, they stay there. It is definitely a sanctuary, and God is ever merciful. He knows why people do what they do, and if they weren't in their right mind when they did it or under some kind of influence. So never assume that's because somebody did that they didn't cross over and they're not in a good place.
Yeah, some religions refer to that as purgatory. That
Well,
has a negative connotation. It's not.
So level one
It's not a place
that I
where
went to, I think that's where that's where people got the idea of purgatory, because that's what it looked like. It was very confusing.
Mhm.
It was very misty. I was told not to look away from Gabriel's eyes when we went there, and I could feel the confusion setting in. It just looked like you're in a forest and it's just all misty white gray, and there's souls wandering around. Now angels go in and try to convince people. It reminds me of that, what was it, What Dreams May Come, that movie.
Yes.
Where the woman was so confused, she was in her own prison. Okay, so souls that are on the fence or for whatever reason end up there. The angels go in and try to save them. Okay, there are teams that go in and try to convince them, come with me, but there's also bad guys that go in and try to convince them, come with us. So it's a very confusing thing.
Yeah.
So that would be level 1. Then we've got up to 2, higher vibrational. And that is like the sanctuary, and that is where they receive the healing and the guidance, and they can. I have, when I went there, it was just a very peaceful, almost like 60s kind of commune looking kind of dimension, but without the drugs, and everybody's just peaceful and sitting in circles and talking and walking around, and it's so.
Yeah.
I think that, let's see.
And
okay, he did cross, and that is where he crossed to. Because the soul was kind of in turmoil once he, like Mike said, but not like, oh my God, he's lost. No, he's not lost. He's accompanied by his guide that he had this lifetime, and he has been coming back and forth, spending quite a bit of time here, just trying to figure out where everybody's at and try to cope with this. So we want to give the soul time to settle after it's passed, because it has to remember how to stay put, because you move with the speed of thought. And if they think of somebody, they're here. And if they think of home, they're there, and they're just all over the place. So that's why mediums wait about a month for them to relax.
And it's interesting, Jen, because my other friend who was very famous, is famous, and specialized in that, described what you're describing exactly the same way. So you guys have both been there, and I firmly believe that. And I will just tell folks at home, you would be shocked at the historical figures that are there that you think are horrendous villains that are they're still up for forgiveness. That's what Jesus said. So a lot of people think this guy or that guy's got to be in hell. Well, not necessarily. They could be in a place like that. So it's fascinating. I just love it when I could talk to mediums, and you can go to places like that and tell us how things really work. So okay, Betty $10 Rumble Rant says, will I soon purchase the house on Owl Loop? Thank you.
On Betty. What?
Owl Loop.
It's not your address.
No. Okay. $5 Rumble Rant. No name. Savage on Paper. Was the moon? Okay, what's the general question? Was the moon towed into our atmosphere? Well, or turned into, or towed into its position 38,000 years ago to serve as a soul recycling center? Is that where the moon came from?
No, it was an orbiting piece of another planet, and it was out there. It was much bigger and not so round at one time. Other civilizations carved out the middle of it. It is made of some rock that is more metally than our rocks. So it is, but it is rock, and there's a lot of iron or something in that rock. If you were to hit it, a moon rock with something, what I'm seeing is it would kind of make a pinging sound, like something metal.
Yeah.
It has not been used for good reasons. Okay. I actually remember I did that somewhere. The Moon and Pumapunku, the show that I did is probably on Fallawsophy on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah.
Way back, if you scroll back.
Yeah.
But that's what I asked. I asked
Yeah,
him to
it's
show
just
me, and he
neat
showed me that.
Okay. $10 Rumble rant. Vicky says, "Hey Jen, when will I quit my job and permanently move to Florida?" Sneaky RV question there, Vicky. But we'll let you pass on that one.
As of this moment in time, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Kelly Fontana, $10 Rumble rant. Thank you, Kelly. While rubbing my son Leo's back in his crib at 3 a.m. in March 2024, something scratched my hand. Can you see if it was a family member like my grandmother
good.
or something else?
Scratch is not
It's
good.
not good.
How long ago was this?
March of 2024.
Have you had the house cleansed since? That kind of thing is what we call a minion. Those are little, like, there's a portal in the house, and if somebody has a very strong personal attachment, they can rip a little fabric in a dimension open, let all these minions in, and then the minions, then they kind of, that sounds like somebody's got a top hat dude is what Marcy and I call him, and it's basically kind of like I don't know, it's like a level up from your typical shadow figure. And he'll let in his minions to do its bidding, to draw more energy into him. So when you get scratches like that, that's those little minions running around, and it was probably trying to pull energy from you or the baby.
Okay. All right, Steph, $10 Rumble rant. Thank you, Steph. Any truth to Chase and Wells Fargo being nefarious and trying to stop 4B from
No, they're going to make a lot of money off of that, and that is not true.
Yeah, that's, yeah. So, no. Don't listen to the fear porn, Steph. All right, Debbie, $5 Rumble rant. My 16-year-old granddaughter just had a mental breakdown. Well, I'm sorry. Do you see her coming out of this?
Well, it's pretty common for 16-year-old daughters.
I wish we had her name, but try to remember.
What's her name?
Give us the names. Debbie, Deby.
She does have a chemical imbalance right now. I don't know if it's hormonal. There was some kind of man or breakup or something, and not man, but boy, that she was just totally distraught about. She has a low self-image. I would suggest counseling and getting some blood tests done and find out where she's at.
Yeah, find out if
I do think she'll come through it.
Imbalance. Yeah, there could be an imbalance going on there. So, okay, one more question. Janelle, it says Rumble rant. I don't see a Rumble rant, but it might be. Janelle J wants to know if her son, DeMarc, will have a safe birthday trip or cruise with his girlfriend to the Caribbean. They're going to the Turks and Caicos, Puerto Rico, and Dominican Republic in June. So Janelle wants to know if her son, DeMarc, is going to have a safe birthday trip and cruise.
Everybody has a good time. Tell them to take some ivermectin. I feel like somebody gets almost like flu-like symptoms in the stomach. I think it might be your son, and that's gonna put him down a couple days. So let's avoid that.
No fun. Take some ivermectin.
I'd avoid eating salad. Sometimes they wash it with the water down there, and it's not so good. That's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
I think it's something that he ate, but they do get home safe to tell the tale. Yeah.
Tell the tale. Stay away from a salad, buddy. All right. Lori Yoder says, my family and I traveled to South Carolina Friday for my niece's wedding. That sounds like fun. Will our flights be fine? And will all family events be fine with my mom?
Yep. On the planes, landing. All right, let's skip to home, coming home. Yes.
Okay. Good for you. Joe Healy says, good afternoon, Mike and Jen and everyone watching. We're so close I can smell the exhaust fumes from those RVs. Yeah, we are. We are. Deborah Dyer. Hi, Mike and Jen. Jen, my cat of 13 years passed away about a month and a half ago. I'm very sorry. She tried so hard to stay with us. Could you please tell me if she made it okay? And does she ever visit us? The kitty's name is Possum.
That's awesome.
Cute name.
Yeah,
This is
mine
a
passed a
cute
week
name for
ago.
a kitty. You lost a kitty and you didn't tell me about it?
I mean, you cry on the air. She was like 105.
Oh,
There's
told
nothing
me
else I
off.
could do. She just ran off it and died somewhere.
They do that when they're gonna die.
It wasn't Charlie.
they
It was
leave.
my other
They
one,
hide.
Peanut, that was a stray that I fed for years, and she never left me. Okay,
Sorry.
Possum. Every day. So this is what just
Possum's there every day.
be aware of your peripheral vision down low. So what you'll see is almost like a color flash or just a movement. So it's 2-second movement. Like, did I just see the cat? That's how I knew that Peanut had passed away. And Katie was commenting in Faith about it too. And they're like, I thought I just saw her. I thought I just saw her. I'm like, do you know where she went? And then I was in the kitchen and I saw this little half her body turn around on the floor all of a sudden. I'm like, oh crap, she's dead. So that's what it looks like.
You'll see him. Yeah, that happened to me when we first moved here. My kitty Aurora, I had to put her down about a year and a half just about a year before we left Seattle for Vegas. And I was in my bathroom right there, and I was just washing my hands or something at night. And I looked over and I saw this little white flash walk right by where I am sitting right now, and I knew it was her, and I knew. So she's like, "Okay, I followed you here, Dad, so I'm here." So that's how you know. Gina Robinson says, Jen, can you see a good prognosis fit for my niece Katie? She's in the hospital from a car wreck last week. Also, I woke up hearing two words around 3 a.m. The exchange. Well, I think we know what that's about.
That's been happening to me a lot.
I woke up
with the dream.
Yeah.
Just remembering the tail end the other day, like a week or two ago, I've twice in my life I have read something in a dream. Once was when I saw the banner over my table of books that said The Seventh Element, and that's where I got the name of this book, like a long time ago. And the other day I got a pop-down text from a friend of mine I haven't talked to in, I don't know, 6 weeks. Saw the full name, and I'm like, that's odd. Then, so car wreck. How is Katie going to do?
Katie. Is there a prognosis for what her injuries
That's
are?
going to take me more time than I can have, that I have. There's several things going on. We've got some problems internally with things being bruised. And I think that's what we're watching. It might be the liver that's bruised, something in there.
Get a medical reading, Gina, and then
she'll be all right. She just needs to heal. She needs to stay down so she doesn't.
I remember. Yeah, when I had my gallbladder out, I mean, my insides hurt for like about 9 days. If I laid on my right side, it just really hurt because there was space in there and everything was moving around. And
there's one thing that they're watching because they don't want her to get up and move around too much because she might tear something or injure it worse. They don't want anything leaking. I don't know how to explain that. But she did blunt force injure or bruise some organs there. The exchange, that's been happening a lot. People just, and that's kind of how it goes. So what happened there is that you were talking to somebody and you just got the tail end of it and woke up and just remembered that part of it. My problem is I can't remember half the dream except right before I wake up lately. I hate that.
Right. Okay. Hi, Mike and Jen. Kayla here. I'm not ready to go back to work and I want to enjoy my summer with my kids. Will I be able to do this?
Kayla. I was like, I can't see the thing very clearly. I'm kind of blind, so I was trying to figure out who that was. Will she be able to do that? Yes.
You will. Awesome. Okay. And Bridget, will I purchase the property that I've been looking at in Sandbridge, Virginia?
It's not that one.
Okay, Cindy and Chip want to know. By the way, you don't have a crystal ball, but your talent comes as close as it gets. Can you please tell me that we are going to be able to dismiss our bankruptcy and still keep our home? That's Cindy. She wants to know if she keeps this home or just gets a new one.
Dismiss, yes. Keep the home, no, because you want something else. So you basically either sell it or let it go, and you don't even care. Yeah. I do feel you moving somewhere else.
Okay, another Rumble rant. Carissa wants to know, will my TSB project go well? I don't know what a TSB project is, but yeah.
Something with that. Yes, but what? For the most part, yeah. I'm not getting it. There's some kind of like snag that you have to figure out. You'll do it, woman. You know you will. You'll figure it out.
Okay, this one's pretty heavy. Splurge. We need your name too. That would help a lot. She found the name of the man who killed my father, execution style. His name is Ralph Vernon of Redondo Beach. Is he alive or has he passed? It's a heavy question.
He's alive. He was incarcerated for a long time. Repeat offender. Now he's either in a mental institution or a old folks home.
Okay. Well, thinking about getting a summer place there. Rates on dinar and dong. Well, you know, we've had dinar right around 512, and we 591, $6. Dong, I know for a fact someone exchanged at $2 and $2.12. I know.
I'm sticking with the rates I originally got for the exchange appointment. I originally got something around 16.23 for dinar at the exchange.
And 4.29.
And then 4.29, $4.29 for the dong.
Yeah. And guys, don't be disappointed if it's 0.429, if it's 43 cents. You're still going to be really, really well off if you get that for your dong. Okay.
Better than nothing.
Be grateful for whatever it works out.
That could be a street rate. I don't know.
Okay, we already did that one. So my brother Hugo is on dialysis. When will he get to a med bed? Kimser, again, guys, give us your name. Give us your name. But we'll try to just check out with what's his name?
Jesus says yes. So when I don't have a name, I have to ask them. It just takes a little longer. They know who you are.
Okay. Apparently there's some troll in there. I don't know who it is.
There's like two people or three people that always give us thumbs down. Rude. Whatever. Why do you keep coming back?
They give us a thumbs down. They give us a thumbs down. Well, all I can say for that thumbs down is thank you, because the algorithms don't care. They don't care whether you thumbs up or thumbs down. It's the interaction that matters. So thanks a lot.
It's probably my ex in a couple of years. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got more than one.
Yeah.
More than one. One of them I'm on good terms with still. Relatively good terms. Mary Cloris here. Do you see my daughter Lacey moving for a job? Will my husband... Okay, these are two different questions. Move. So Mary would like to know... No on the move. Will my husband Kirk and I separate from this stress of no income?
Right now, the chances are good that you would. But let's say if the RV hits all of a sudden, there is a chance that you guys could work that out. Have a change of heart.
Scott is confirming his observation at a Chase bank. My bank was not a Chase bank, but yes, the banks are all becoming like fancy, like airport lounges or something. So, Iraq.
Yeah, let's think about that for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been focused on that for a while. It's like at the worst possible time in our history, except for the Great Depression, we start getting all these, wealth management. You get all this ads for wealth management. Come and manage your wealth. You're like, dude, what wealth?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of loans, when they should be focusing on loans. Why is that? Why all the changes in the banking industry and the way they do business and what they're focusing on? Because they know. They know. At the top levels, They know.
Chris took care of this person. That's why I can't see him. Thank you, Batman. Thank you, Batman, for getting that villain out of there. Do you expect an ESB still this weekend? I don't think Jen ever said she did, and I don't expect.
I didn't say that.
To get the emergency broadcast system. EBS is what you mean. Okay, let's go today. Yeah, the thing is, guys, it's going to be noon here in about an hour. It's going to be noon in Baghdad about 2 hours after that, or midnight in Baghdad, and then it's going to be midnight here, and it's going to be midnight there, and 12 noon. So just keep your eyes out. What's the name of that machine? It's called a De La Rue machine. DELARUE. De La Rue. Lori wants to know if she's going to be buying the Blue House on the Water.
Yes. God, this house just popped up.
Okay.
I think it's in Sandpoint on Lake Pend Oreille, and it's like it's like $8 million. So I'm totally buying it as soon as I possibly can. It's the perfect location. It's so beautiful. It looks like frickin' Bridgerton inside. I'm like, oh my God, the wainscoting and the pillars and everything else. Oh my God. It's like it's made for me. I'm getting it.
Ursula, what a great name. Ursula would like to know if a treatment under a crown can fix my teeth problems. Ursula.
It'll help, but we've got a couple other problem areas on the bottom there. I don't know if this is bone loss. It's not going to fix all your problems, but I do think it would help, yes.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Chris Pagan says, hi guys. I put a claim through to insurance for my damaged roof. Will they cover it, or will I be stuck with a hefty bill?
Cover.
Okay, Jen, we got some more Rumble rants, and then we got to let you go. Holly Opplinger starts, $10 Rumble rant. Thank you, Holly. My husband has a torn rotator cuff and is concerned about surgery due to recently passed medical mandates in Washington. Will he be safe, or should he wait for med beds? Ew. What does that mean? Does that mean that he has to be vaccinated or something before they'll operate on him? Scary, Holly, but will he be safe to have the surgery?
No, I don't think he has to be anymore. They're not pushing that anymore. It's something else. I think that he'd be safe to have the surgery.
Primetime gal. Okay. $10. Primetime gal Robin. Robin says, Jen, just checking my intended purchase on Dume, D-U-M-E Road, will be a good and safe home. She wants to know, Robin wants to know if it'll be a good, safe home for her to buy.
It would, but somebody might beat you to it.
Yeah, guys, I know this is hard, but before this happens, you get fixated on a property. It's like so many things can change.
One of my
So many
I
things
was
can
going to buy
change,
those 3 houses on
you know.
that little loop, and my grandchildren, or someday we're going to pull up in the bus and come run into grandma's house and like run through the sprinklers and stuff. One of them sold. I can't do that.
Yeah. So these things. I mean, the thing is, look, you guys. After this happens, you're gonna have your pick of the litter. Okay, the world is.
And you
gonna
don't
be
understand.
At your feet,
You
so
guys
don't
are
get
still
into-
stuck in the way that regular people do things and buy things. When you have a certain amount of money, you have different real estate agents, you have different lawyers. You can just offer someone a deal and make it a sweet deal if you really want something. Like if somebody walked up to me today and said, "Hey, I really want your house. I grew up there, whatever, here's 3 times what it's worth. Will you move out in 60 days?" I'll be, "Yes, ma'am. Absolutely."
Yes,
Absolutely
ma'am.
will. I will
Primetime gal, are you?
go back to California,
Robin, are
and
you
that's
coming?
all there is to it.
Yeah. Robin, are you coming to Vegas? Is it you that's coming to Vegas this weekend?
Yeah.
It's one of you guys. I forget. One of you guys. Beth Costanzo, $20 Rumble Rant. Thank you, Beth. Will my wellness center for children go well at my redemption appointment, or will I have to go back with more information?
You're basically just submitting a proposal. So what you want to have is like maybe even 1-2 page, a few paragraphs. This is what it's called. This is what I want to do. Here's my mission statement. This is what I need. This is what I hope to accomplish. And this is approximately how much I'm going to need to do that. That's it. Later on, when you're approved, you'll sit down with the project manager and go through any additional information that they need.
Okay, we got time for 3 more. Rumble Rant from Vicky, $5. Thank you, Vicky. When will my boss Dale retire? Can't
6
wait
months.
for that day, right?
He wants to finish
6
out
months.
the year.
Sonia Lee says, "Hi, Mike and Jen. Should I just sign divorce papers or wait till the
I'll tell
RV
you.
and keep the case going for spousal support?"
I can't make that decision for you. I can tell you what'll happen if you do just decide to do that, where that path leads. Yeah, pass on that one.
Amber says, "Do you see my eldest son, Stefan, $5 Rumble Rant, by the way, staying with the girl he's with, or is she Camry? Is she being honest?"
That's none of our
Her name
business,
is
Mom.
Camry. None of our business. None of our
Well,
business. And none
there's
of your
a lot of
business.
psychics that'll pull cards and they'll tell you everything you want to know. But I've learned that if I try to pull something with the angels, they'll just look at me like, that is none
Seriously.
of your business, and you don't intrude on people's privacy, and you don't. So I do think that, can you put that back up? See what I can get.
Yeah.
Because she's worried about him. So what can we tell her? He's going to figure this out on his own. This is some kind of karmic lesson. This is some kind of life lesson. And he will end up in a good place. You don't have to worry. There's nothing you can do to help to fix this. Okay?
Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So nothing you can do anyway. And the thing is, if you insert yourself into something like that, then there's a chance that you're gonna, look, it's up to these people to make their choice.
Well, it's just kind of like a fine line, and it's with me personally too. Like the things I want to do, I want to say, yeah, I totally want to like seek revenge, whatever. And I'm like, I'm serious over here. I mean, I got Jesus and the angels, and I'm like, I think about doing something or being mean or whatever, and they're just kind of like, I'm like, damn it, can't get away with anything. I mean, I'm serious. So it changes you.
See, I don't have that problem.
It changes you.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah, I know.
I got plenty of revenge to take after this is all over. So, all right, guys, thank you for being here. That is going to wrap it up. I will be back tonight on Whiskey and Wisdom with Mark and Zester. Tune in for that. That'll be a hoot, like it always is. And I'll be back tomorrow at the same bat time, same bat channel with the Mushroom Ladies, Diana and Kristen, to tell you all about the products over at Mike Barrett Pets and how it changed their lives personally and the lives of all kinds of pets. I think they have a lot of testimonials that they picked up on their Mushroom Ladies World Tour. So that'll be fun on Thursday. Then let's see, Friday I'm going to Boulder City with Dale and Diana. We're going to hang out with them up in Boulder City. It's probably no show then. And then Saturday I'm going to Redondo Beach again to shoot some documentary stuff. And I got a busy weekend, and then next week's going to be pretty busy too. But I do believe we will be on Monday, Wednesday next week for sure, because my craziness is
because we're going to RV. I think that
yeah, well,
there's
good.
some kind of
That sounds
announcement,
fine to
or there's
me.
some kind of news conference or something, and I think it's tomorrow. I just saw something. I don't know the timing on that, but I just saw something.
I like the confidence with which you told me, no, you're not going to do that because you're going to be.
Because I'm tired of this now, and I'm just
Wasn't
not
like
messing
you were
around
making
anything.
a statement. It was like-
Everything's flowing into me now because I've had enough. All right, let's just do it. Let's get it over with.
Right. Sounds like it's going to happen. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. See you tonight on Whiskey and Wisdom. See you tomorrow for the Mushroom Ladies. I will have a news update with whatever I get between now and then the Mushroom Ladies will be on. And I hope you tune in for that because they can help you, your doggies, your kitties, your horsies. And yes, we're going to try to get mush ponies and other medicines for Henry the donkey, who's still recuperating from his clash with whatever animals he got into it with to defend his cows. He's a good boy. So love you guys. Thanks for being here. We will see you.